And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day.
And he's taken down, back at his own 7.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley. The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, the pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and, you know, the coaches just got after him. They came in ready to play.
And he's got his target. That's more. 15 yards through the air on a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Looking to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Let's go. Green 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Taking a shot for Samuel. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they're going to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. He'll look to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone. But he just did it pretty well. How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for. Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Green 39!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now back to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Lutz with the extra point.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Carolina. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw now on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll set up to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Over the middle, complete. It's King. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Back to throw here. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw here, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Hey, here we go now. Blue line.
He hits Baldwin right side, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Set. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. His throw incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
All right, here we go. Green.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
That big loss there on the pass completion. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Gone!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Taking a shot for Samuel, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading. We now proceed to the start of the second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A second quarter score from down in Houston. The Bills there just continuing to pour it on. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
They come out here in the eye. They'll go with the keeper. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Caught left side, Williams. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here we go now.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They run it again with Kamara. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 39.
And that's caught by Smith. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the choke. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. throw here out of the gun. And that's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On third down, here's Kamara. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Detroit!
He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here comes the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. McCaffrey following the penalty. Spinning, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a first down on that last catch as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, though?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. They've got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 84 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing to...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Carolina getting set to take the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Panthers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone.
Now back to throw. Escapes the sack. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he will have the first down.